When the cleaning industry shows up in Washington, D.C., it sends a clear message. This is an essential industry with a voice that matters. The ISSA Advocacy event brings industry leaders face to face with policymakers to address the issues shaping our workforce, businesses, and our future. Now, perhaps you were there, perhaps not. But what we want to do today is keep you informed as to what happened and the impact it has on you and the work you do. And someone who was there at the event was Laurie Sewell, our president of ISSA. Laurie, welcome to the program.
Hi, Jeff. How you doing?
Doing good. Hope you are as well. Are you recovered from DC?
I am.
Yeah, it's
I
been a
am.
couple weeks.
Yes.
And by the time people watch this video or read the article that goes with it, it might be a couple months. But it's not about just the one day. We know it's about more than that. So you were on the ground in DC. What was your immediate reaction to the energy and engagement at this year's ISSA Advocacy event?
So this is my second one. And it keeps continuing to grow. And the energy continues to get, stronger and the level of engagement, I think is increasing, tremendously. And when I talk about engagement, it's not just it's from two sides. It's the ISSA members and their level of engagement, how excited they are to be able to, express, what's really happening for them, in our businesses. And then to see the response from, the folks on the Hill and their understanding and interest is starting to elevate. Right. So some of them are like, oh yeah, I remember you guys came last year, or, so we're starting this continuous, the fact that we're continuing to go, it's like water, not quite water torture, but basically if we keep going and we keep coming, showing up, they start understanding more and more about us and about our industry. So I thought the engagement, in both directions was really powerful this year. And having the clear focus. I mean, what John and the team does from the advocacy group committee is pretty amazing in preparing us to be, not just to understand how to go and speak about the issues, but to really understand the
I like
issues.
your analogy of the water torture, the drip, drip. I mean, in a way, that's true because repetitiveness brings awareness, and that's the goal is to keep these issues front and center. So thinking about that, I know you were with the group going around and meeting with those on Capitol Hill. Were there any specific conversations or moments with policymakers that stood out to you that you just kept thinking about when you came back?
Yeah, I think the one thing that, and maybe it's not to a specific policymaker, but it was every time that we would use the statistic that one out of every 40 people in the US as part of their job does cleaning, it kind of brought it brought awareness to just how big and how influential our industry is and the supply chain of our industry. And that really got a lot of people listening and really sitting up and leaning in when we started talking about it. And it was funny because a lot of times you'd get, oh, you know what I did? I did some cleaning when I was in there, or I clean at my house. And so it's like immediately you could connect in a way that made it a little more personal, and they started taking a bit of notice. I think it was also when we talked about things like safer choice, the EPA Safer Choice Program. One of the things we were talking about is continuing to support the Safer Choice Program within the EPA. A lot of the staffers that we talked with are younger, and a lot of the younger people really, have an awareness of chemicals and healthfulness of products, much more than say, 20 years ago. And I think when you hit something that kind of tweaked for them, like, oh, I have a young child, I really want to have healthy products, so making things personal, really made a difference in, I think, them absorbing the information and then being able to want to elevate it and take it further. So that to me was a really interesting moment that stood out for me. And then I was also a little surprised because, it's really difficult to talk about some of the workforce issues that we're having. And I think, I think we often think that we see everything on TV and everything is so divided. There was a lot of the issues that we were speaking about were bipartisan, and that kind of felt good in a way, because I think people don't feel really good right now about what's going on in Washington, and to be there and to see people on both sides like agreeing that there's some things we need to do around workforce, understanding that the WOTC credit is important, kind of felt good.
No, I like that. That was a nice explanation. Makes a lot of sense.
Hmm.
Yeah, I saw the same thing. It was interesting to see how things unraveled, and I noticed that people paid attention. Those staffers took notes, and you can tell when they're genuine and when they're not. And I found it to be
Hmm.
mostly genuine.
Yeah.
Laurie, could you speak to those who may not have been there, who, and really thinking about why it's so important for the cleaning industry, as many as could be involved, that they do that, to be present at these advocacy efforts? What would you tell them?
Well, I think we've seen this not just on the national level, but on the state level, is when we're not in the room, decisions are still going to get made. And they're going to be made without our perspective. And that's when, we get things that, we don't want to be fighting something on the back end. We want to be on the front end of it. We want to be able to give information. I think when people who live the business, whatever part of the supply chain you're in, and are speaking specifically about that experience, they listen. They really do. And if we're not speaking about it from our experience and how we understand it, then somebody's just going to read something, or they're going to assume something, and then we're kind of stuck with a regulation that could be really difficult to comply with, or very costly for the industry, or actually set the industry back. I think advocacy really gives us the chance to kind of connect those
Mhm.
dots for the policymakers, so they really understand the real world implications of those decisions.
Some may be watching this video or reading the article that goes with it and say, what happens in Washington probably won't impact me back home. How does it really translate into change that you can see and value back home?
I will tell you, not just on the items that we were discussing this year, but some of the things that we discussed last year have already come to fruition. Some of the things that we were promoting, like using 529 money for apprenticeships. That we're right now working on getting an apprenticeship for the industry, and that happened largely because of the work that we did last year on the Hill. And it's really interesting is when you learn about how long it takes for something to start as an idea, and then actually turn into some outcome, in the field, it can be really long. I don't know. Do you remember what they said? Something like 13 years or something ridiculously
Hmm.
long. But what we're seeing, and I think with the advocacy efforts that ISSA is pursuing, we're pursuing things that can be effective short term. So to be able to be up there last year talking about something and then see it happen this year. I also think the Wipes Act, which I know we've been talking about for some time, has finally had some success, right? And so the other item that we talked about this past year, which is the WOTC credit, the Work Opportunity Tax Credit. I know my company utilizes that credit. I think, it could be anywhere between $40,000 and $90,000 a year. And so if we can expand that tax credit, that's going to immediately impact my business and any company that has, a large employee base. Safer choice. I'm hopeful that that's going to stay on, but I know that that's really important to all the chemical manufacturers that have been working really hard to comply with and be able to stand out as a product that would actually be approved as safer choice. So the stuff that we're talking about and the things that we're pushing and promoting have immediate effects on our businesses.
Last year we talked about this, and now we're seeing this. It's
Yeah.
a it's a process, and it does take a lot of time, but there you go. It has to be done, and you have to be patient as well.
Yeah. And if we're not talking about it, somebody else is going to talk about it in a different way,
Mm.
or somebody's not going to talk about it at all, right? And so we have to be there. And I got to tell you, Jeff, I don't know if you felt it, but a lot of the people who were there for the first time, like I think how I felt there for the first time, like, is this going to make a difference? How do I do this? Am I the right person? To the last person afterwards, they're like, oh, I understand why we need to do this. I'm going to come back and do it again. I feel impactful. I feel like I've done good work for not just their individual companies, but for the industry. And then I can tell you, everybody came away with that feeling. And so I'm definitely, pitching for more people to come next year and send some of your young employees. We had a number of young employees who were just getting to learn more about the industry, and I think it's a great way to get them engaged in the industry as well.
Well said. And there's the invitation. Laurie Sewell, your ISSA president, says next year, be there.
Be there.
Be there. All the information for the next event will be announced soon, but it's also good to go see the cherry blossoms.
It's the same time of year as the cherry blossoms each time. So I mean, it was beautiful. It was
It's
just
called
beautiful.
strategy. Strategy.
Strategy. Got it.